What's up, guys? I'm back with another movie review. Today I've got another one from IFC Midnight, distributed by Scream Factory, and it is Desolation. So in this movie, a young woman who happens to be a widow is taking a trip out into the woods with her son and her best friend, and the point of the trip is that they're going to scatter the ashes of her late husband. And she really needs some kind of, if not closure, just some kind of peace of mind when it comes to it, and her son definitely is in the same situation. Her friend has always been there for her, as the main part of her support system. And her son is also really able to, have a connection with her friend as well. She's one of the few people that he actually listens to, and respects. So it's just, three people going to try to find, some peace of mind and some, peace when it comes to, the loss of this man, and scattering his ashes will hopefully, bring them a little bit closer to that closure. However, soon after they get there, even though they kind of are having some decent time of like connecting with each other and laughing and reminiscing about the past, they run into some trouble when they notice a mysterious man in dark sunglasses who's kind of lurking around the woods, always close to them. He won't say anything to them. Whenever they turn around to kind of confront him, he, keeps his distance. And that's the movie pretty much, is that, you have these two women and, this young boy out in the woods. They encounter this weirdo in the dark sunglasses, and, that's the movie. So this movie is pretty short. It's under 80 minutes. It has a really good pace. Once we get to the guy in the sunglasses, I should say. Leading up to that, and I actually honestly think the better part of the movie is leading up to that point, when we just kind of have the two women kind of, talking to each other and catching up, and the friendship between the two is really well done. It's really realistic. It feels really organic. And even though this is kind of a survival horror movie, and this is before the survival horror movie part of it kicks in, I think it actually works better just because the two actresses are really talented. And it makes it feel like a real friendship, so that banter back and forth feels real. And even though it's supposed to be a horror movie, like, it's weird to me that that was the best part of the movie. The actresses are Jamie Page and Alicia Osht. I might be mispronouncing that. But anyway, they're just really solid, really believable, natural actresses. They do really well in these roles. And like I said, the friendship is really real. It's really hard to get that in a movie, and so it was really cool to have that here. And it definitely, that bond is built up. And even though a lot of people didn't like the expositional opening of them getting to know the two women, getting to know the son, they felt like that part of it took too long. I thought you had to have that, because otherwise, why would you care what happened to them later on? I think the movie actually falls apart once we meet the guy in the dark sunglasses, because it just looks like a nerdy guy with dark sunglasses on and long hair. Like, there's nothing scary about him. There's nothing intimidating about him. I honestly feel like if they would have confronted him, the little boy could have beaten him up. There's a little bit of hint that maybe there's something supernatural about him, but the movie never commits to it. It never explores it. He just looked like a frail, jank dude to me. And I was never afraid of him. I don't think anybody would be afraid of him. And I don't understand why the people in the movie were afraid of him. So it just didn't work for me. I feel like he is absolutely the weakest link in this chain. The little kid is annoying, but that's almost always going to happen. A movie like this needs a good bad guy. And just this nerdy guy who looks like a complete loser is just not somebody who's going to be, I think, is a very good, scary guy here. There's nothing menacing about him. There's nothing eerie about him. He just looks like a guy that smells bad, and I just don't think that makes a very good villain for a movie like this. So ultimately, I feel like the survival horror parts of it don't work. It doesn't have very much blood. The movie has no sleaze. You get two bikini shots, I think, in the beginning of the movie, and that's it as far as that goes. The tension is not great, and I think the reason for that is because you just aren't scared of this guy. He's just not intimidating. He's not scary. And that really diffuses all of the horror elements to it. I feel like there's a good movie in here, but we just didn't get it, because I feel like they really, not only did they miscast it, because I don't blame the actor, I blame the people who designed the character, because I feel like you can take anybody and turn them into a believable villain, even if they look really soft and non-threatening. It's just the way he's handled here. We're supposed to go, ooh, a guy wearing sunglasses in the woods. Like, who cares? That's not scary to me. And that's all that the dude has, is that, oh my god, he's wearing sunglasses. That's what's supposed to be scary about him. So I think that really ruined the horror part of it. But I really like the kind of friendship melodrama that happened earlier on in the movie. And I think that banter was really believable, and I think that was the most enjoyable part of the movie. So for me, the real draw here is the two lead actresses who are really good, turn in really good performances, and then the movie's just kind of like, bleh, when you get to the survival horror part, because nobody's scared of the smelly guy, and that's it. That's my review of Desolation. I can't really give it a very strong recommendation because I think mostly horror fans are going to be interested in this, and it's just not scary whatsoever. It's not really even tense. But if you just like good performances and you don't mind, and again, this one's under 80 minutes, so it's not a huge time commitment. I think the movie is worth seeing for the performances of the two lead actresses. Otherwise, whatever. So that's my review of Desolation. If you want to read a full write-up, you can go to my website, markfusion.com. You can also check out a bunch of other IFC Midnight movies there, as well as tons of other horror movies, cult movies, exploitation, all kinds of stuff there. I'm also on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch at markfusion. I'm also on Letterboxd at markfusion. If you want to see what I've been watching, I diary there, and then you can see what might be coming up here. Best way to help me out, though, is just to hit that sub button. It's a free, easy, direct way to support me, help me to keep watching all these crazy movies and talking to you guys about them, making these videos. Watching old videos is also a huge way to help me out. Doesn't seem like it would be, but it actually is. So if something catches your eye, please do check it out. Sorry this video went long, but I couldn't help it. I had a lot to say about this nerdy guy. And I'm a nerdy guy, so for me to say it, it's saying something. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I do greatly appreciate it. Hope I'll see you guys soon.